Isn't it crazy how it just seems like no good new games are coming out? I feel like coming out of the last couple of years, there's been a real lag, but we're finally seeing some really cool stuff. I watched the Xbox Game Show live with the community here on the channel, and I want to go over my 5 most hyped Xbox games coming out of that show. Let's start with the one that they started with, and that is Fable. I gotta say, this is a very exciting thing to see. We didn't get anything besides a cinematic with this one, but with Fable, this is a game I played a ton as a kid on Xbox. I remember choosing between the good and evil paths and seeming like you could just pretty much do whatever you wanted, especially at the time. There haven't been a lot of games like that at the time, and so having that freedom of choice, and it felt like, even though looking back now it seems pretty simple, but it felt like you could do literally anything you wanted. There were a ton of side quests, like trying to fall in love and have a family. I think by the second or third one, you could buy real estate and affect the market by destroying other people's buildings. There was just a lot to do besides the main storyline, which was also pretty good. By Fable 2, they had even more world-spanning sort of consequences built in, where, like, for example, you could come across a trader's camp and you could save it or not save it from some bandits, and that would affect maybe a town getting built up around that trader's camp, stuff like that. I really look forward to seeing what a modern game can do with mechanics like that, because you could get some really butterfly effect stuff happening in a game like that that just sort of snowballs and goes further and further. I think that would be really crazy to watch. I also remember there being a dog in these games, and so that definitely needs to be a feature in the new one. You gotta give us the dog. Let me name the dog. I want to pet the dog. 2 also had co-op as a feature, and so that's a feature, I mean, with online play, I feel like we should be able to drop in, hunt with, become a, bandit with, I think was one of the mechanics, where you could be like a sidekick to their story, or you could play their character. Whatever it is, I think that online co-op needs to be a part of this game, and they'll really have a hit on their hands. It's been over 20 years since the original, and so I just have to sort of daydream about the depth of choice and alignment and side activities that you could include in a modern version of this game. We've seen a lot on Starfield now, which we'll discuss at the end of the video, but the depth in that game, imagine, sort of King Arthurian legend fantasy version of that. That would be super cool. They said this is a Game Pass Day 1 game. Game Pass continues to amaze me, but they didn't give us a date, so I would not expect this one to come out this year. Number 2 for me on the list is Towerborn. It's from the same people that made the Banner Saga 1, 2, and 3. I was like remotely familiar with that game. I've seen the thumbnail in the Xbox store before. I had no idea it was a turn-based strategy game. That is one of my very favorite types of games, so I found a new series that I'll have to go back and figure out, at least play the first one of, but if it's coming out of that developer, I really have to look forward to it. All the reviews of the Banner Saga were really glowing. Everything, 85 plus for all 3 entries in a video game series is pretty impressive, and so I got to check that one out. But the studio, Stoic, is 3 ex-BioWare employees that left to make Banner Saga after finishing Knights of the Old Republic, which, classic game, one of my tops of all time, so I have to be pretty hyped about a game coming out of there, because I really think that they know exactly what they're doing. It's an action RPG where everything's based around a central hub where humanity is being kept, or that's their last bastion or something. Apparently death is a mechanic as you play, but I haven't heard the buzzwords like rogue or like around, so doesn't seem like, at least at this stage of marketing, they're leaning into that, which could be a good thing. But the game designer did say in a post that he wanted to make a game that we could play with our families or play at conventions, make it a sit down and have fun kind of experience, and also how they wanted to make a beat 'em up game like the classics, think like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but they can expand features and gameplay forever because, the internet. This one's not coming until 2024, but it's one I definitely have my eye on. Third, I want to talk about 33 Immortals. This is another indie game. This one's from Thunder Lotus. I don't know anything else about this one except I saw 33 people on screen at once fighting God. At the very least, 33 simultaneous co-op is a very intriguing thing to say, and so this one definitely got my attention. I love a good co-op game, especially if it's online, And unless they're inviting 32 people over to my house, I'm assuming this one is. This is another one that's got a 2024 release date, but it's one I'm going to be watching, and I'm definitely going to play it on the channel when it gets here. Hey, real quick, if you like this video or you like any of my videos, clicking that subscribe button sounds corny, but it does more than you can possibly imagine for me. It also helps you out. You will get notified when I'm live if you're subscribed with the notification bell on. I'm live every Tuesday night. Come hang out if you're looking for a gaming community. I think it's a cool place, and I think you'll enjoy it here. Let's talk about the other two. So number 4 for me, I feel like I'd be remiss in this video if I didn't at least mention Star Wars Outlaws. It was announced as another 2024 title, but they keep using a phrase with this game, open world. This is an open world game. This is Star Wars' first open world, and that sort of freaks me out. I really hope it doesn't just fall into sort of an unfun, like, light up all the symbols on the map, get all of the waypoints type of game. Like, look, those can be fun. I'm currently playing through Diablo 4, but they've got to be done well. The gameplay has to be fun. The whole exploration and gathering and unlocking and turning that symbol white, and that indicates I've done it. All that's fine, but it's got to be fun. And so I'm tentatively excited for this one. I think it can be really annoying if you get a game like that and it's just a cash grab and it's mishandled. So I'm really hoping that it is handled with grace and it's story first and experience first. That is how I think it will be a good thing and not a bad thing. There's part of me that wishes it was just a narrative like Jedi Fallen Order. I'm like, okay, we can explore, but couldn't we just have a character story around these cool new characters that you've created? Or is it necessary that I go collect all 100 holocrons? This one says it takes place between Empire and Jedi, so we're definitely going to be bantha deep in OG Star Wars stuff. So at the very least, that should be cool to walk around in and hang out in and be like, oh look, it's Coruscant, or oh hey, Tatooine. There's sand everywhere. That's one part of open world that I think could actually be a good thing, because if we're planet hopping a lot, it's going to be really fun to hang out in the world and just go different places. And look, the trailer looked really cool. I mean, it's on my top 5 most hyped from this event. I'm very interested to learn what open world truly means here. I don't know. Comment below if you think I'm like super off base on this game, or if my skepticism is granted, because this is one where I don't know. The trailer looked cool. It looked cool. All right, so wrapping out my top 5 from this one is Starfield. I feel like I can't not talk about this behemoth that they showed off, this 18 games in one that they showed off, this Bethesda masturbatory, completely, they just love their thing over there, don't they? But it's awesome. I mean, it looks incredible. They have fully leaned into making a game that is 1,000 games all at once. Game how you want to game. Make your own game. Be the game. Starfield looks absolutely ridiculous. They showed off all of these crazy different features. They showed off a release date of early September. We'll see if they hit that, and we'll also see if it's not a buggy mess when it comes out. But they also made it day 1 Game Pass, which I think is just insane. The amount of content that one game is going to have, and it's all the games. It's so many games you get with Game Pass. I'm not selling it. It's still insane to me how much is included for that subscription fee. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Hashtag not an ad. Hashtag definitely a shill. Look, I'm going to get into this game in depth in an entirely different video, because it needs a deeper look that sort of matches the depth of the game that we've been shown. I want to look at Bethesda too, and sort of their history and what we can hopefully expect from Starfield going forward. I think it's a big topic to explore, and so that's going to be its own entire video. But I do have some quick takeaways from today. We did see the trailer, and then we got an entire hour just breaking down how feature-rich and deep the whole freaking game was going to be. So quick takeaways. They've obviously made something insane here. The game has been in development for over 7 years, compared to the normal 4 to 5 years that a Bethesda title like this would have taken them. So 2 whole extra years. I don't know what that means. It just sounds impressive to me. backing all of the work that they've put into this one up. They were showing off controllers and headsets and smartwatches and all these physical special edition things that you could buy alongside the release of the game. And so they think that people's interest is going to be through the roof here. It's not like we haven't had a, developer oversell exactly what they were presenting, but it's Bethesda. That hour today of content reveal looked insane, and they're showing off $300 watches at the same time. So I really think that they have a new forever franchise on their hands here with this game. It kind of reminds me of the hype leading up to Skyrim and the reception of Skyrim, and now a decade later, it's still being ported onto all the new consoles that come out. We got to get Skyrim. People want to play Skyrim. People want to go, oh, so cool. Dragonborn. All in all, this one feels like a day one play for me. It seems really mind-blowing, and I'm an insane sci-fi fan, and I can't wait to experience the whole thing. I'm sure there'll be parts of the game where I'm like, I don't want to play that, and there'll be parts of the game where I'm like, I'm going all in on this. This is what I want to do. But I feel like that's how that game is designed, and I really think that people are going to enjoy it. My only note about it so far is like, come on, this couldn't be multiplayer at all. Like, I know it's designed very specifically, and it's all artisanal, and it's gently woven from the fabric of 1,000 tiers. But look, like, I want to play it with my friends. Let me know down in the comments what games you liked, or if you agree or disagree with me on any of these takes. I'm live every Tuesday. If you want to hit that subscribe button and come hang out Tuesday nights with the community, we'd love seeing you there. And that subscribe button helps me so much. I'm Joel Bozo. I'll catch you in the next one.